I wanted to show you what I've been working on for the last week with Adrian Smith from Phobic. Oh, so let's see here. What was the inspiration? As you know, I've been sort of lamenting how much more difficult it is to write programs with UIs, say, compared to 30 years ago. In the 90s and 2000s, you just used Microsoft Visual Studio, C++ to write apps, and it was just super, super easy. It's just gotten so much more difficult, and that's what I found so compelling about Fulco RAD. It's just I've probably deployed about, I don't know, 10 Fulco RAD apps just because it's so freaking easy. So there's a category of application I just wanted to write, though, that it doesn't seem worth writing a Fulcro or a Fulco RAD app. And one of them was actually writing this simulator. So what this shows was, imagine you have three interdependent steps between two functional silos of moving and painting. I just want to see what it looks like, with different scheduling algorithms. And it was so easy to write in Membrane this simulator. Basically, I rendered a whole bunch of states or frames, and I was able to, first I got this running. So instead of looking at a bunch of maps in Portal or Clerk, it was actually great to actually see this in motion. And it was actually super easy. And then Adrian helped me get Vega graphs running. So this is SVG. And so it's just super easy. Inspired by Fulcro, just added these menus. And so you can do these different sort of simulations. And again, you can sort of see just super, super easy to write. And I would say Membrane is the easiest UI framework, UI thing I've ever used, just because everything's a pure function. Inputs are state, output is a view, and you just give it to Skia and it renders. It's just really, really great. Anyway, so this was so inspirational that I wanted to see if wouldn't it be great just to be able to just write an app to render a report, right? Just like a RAD report. And so that's what the next app endeavored to do. So I'm going to just close this. So one of the things I published, oh dear, did I? Okay, let me close this. Terminate. Okay, now, so I had published this repo of a Fulco RAD app. It was just for me, it was just a way to teach myself Fulco RAD. And so here is a repo where basically you have actually a resource file with all of these RSS feeds and a way to render it. And so this is running in Google Cloud Run. So this is a little bit more, it's just some up and down buttons. You actually helped me with this, Tony. So I wanted to see if I could write this in Membrane, right? So instead of spinning up Shadow CLJS, instead of running it in Google Cloud Run, wouldn't it be great if we could just sort of like run in a REPL a Fulco RAD app? So that is what I tried to build with, again, Adrian's help. So where did that app go? All right, we won't worry about it. Let's make a new one. Oh, maybe it's because I killed the REPL. All right, so let's start up. So this is the, I created a branch with the goal of porting this into Membrane. So you'll watch me spin up the same process as you would for using this. Hey, restart Fulcro. Tony, you help me build that. This might not. So let's spinning up. Okay, you know what? I know what that is. It's because I patched in this namespace. So let's just try that again. Okay, that's up and running. So as you can see here, I actually don't have a demo of that. Anyway, my point is I've actually written a whole bunch of Fulcro RAD apps, like Twitter archives. This is just a Fulcro RAD report with a custom column renderer. So let's take a look at what we can do using Membrane. All right, so we go to Membrane UI. So this is some manual work to sort of get the machinery in motion, but here's sort of bootstrapping the Membrane application. So you're passing in some things just like you would with a application mount, etc. And then some extra machinery to get the reports working. And this is actually a Fulco RAD report, and that's right here. And it actually has live reloading, so I can do let's do that. You can see that changed here. This is using a story component, and so I can do that. Right, and that's great. What else did I get running yesterday? Oh yeah, so it actually can take the UI state machine, next page, prior page. So obviously this is early on. I don't have, this is actually rendering its own as a body item. No. This is actually manually writing membrane components, but I am using this UI story, this kind of membrane component wrapper to turn the Fulco component into a membrane view. So the next steps is I want to get rid of this and actually have it use actually generate each row in a membrane view. Then ideally get the controls running, so you get the pagination controls, etc. I just feel like that's going to be a couple hours of work. It's been great, and from a dev perspective, I mean, it's been so fun, right? You get instantaneous feedback. You don't have to spin up a shadow CLJS thing, which, by the way, it works so well. I mean, it's really, I would never complain about it, but it's just a way to get even faster, less machinery required to get a view running. All right, 7 minutes. That's actually a little bit longer than I wanted to go. Let's see here. Just one thing I did want to see if I could do while I did this. Stand by. What did I want to? This is a really Frankenstein app. So really, there were two changes I made. Right, I had to change the ATTP. I had to, as you said, create the CLJ equivalent of the to do all the network calls. That was super janky, but that did work as soon as I used the synchronous transactions. And then Adrian helped me wire it at the top, and everything else just worked, which was just great. I wanted to see if I can change like the pagination size. Yeah, so just to show you that it's using all the underlying pagination. So I just need to rerun the report, right? Will this work? Yeah! So instead of page size 10, now it's page size 30. And I can go to the next page. I mean, that just delights me to no end. Anyway, Tony, I hope that delights you. I guess my reaction is, it's like one of the things that's always been amazing about Fulco is how magnificently sort of decomplected everything is. So really, it's this kind of amazing feeling of like taking care of the bottom at the network level, and then Adrian helped me wire it at the top at the render level, kind of getting that hooked up, and it worked. Not to say that there weren't some tough sledding at times, but that was pretty freaking cool. Anyway, Tony, I hope that delights you, and everything's in a repo, and I would love your reaction. So my next steps again is get more of the report row rendering, so that RAD can just emit that, and then get the pagination controls, and then that's about as far as I intend to take it. Anyway, take care. And then you can sort of do a native image compile, just run it, and run the server and the UI in one app. All right, catch you later. See you, Tony. And thank you, Adrian. Later.